Hello and welcome to BlueLou episode 2. I'm just getting my first fish of the day in here, set up in about 35 feet of water, and soon after pick up my first brown trout here. This guy came in real easy, but as you can see in a minute here, once I get him into the boat, he suddenly realizes the horrifying situation he finds himself in. I was a little nervous when that hook started flailing around quite a bit there. As you can see, that fish just really wanted to stick it to somebody, and luckily failed to do so. So after taking care of this fish and shaking my fist at a fellow boater, I reset my lines, and within about 15 minutes I actually hooked into another brown trout. This female was a little more active here. She was really jumping all over the place, and decided to keep her fight on the outside of the boat for the most part, as you can see. Really running around and actually tangling up quite a bit in my yellow board line there, since I came to pretty much a standstill when this fish started taking line. Without constant paddling and pedaling here in my case, it's very hard to maintain nice clean lines when you come to a stop. This fish, I'm spending some time here trying to figure out just how badly it wrapped itself up in the lines, but ultimately it wasn't too bad. I was able to get the hook I was using out of that fish and bag that fish. You're probably wondering what I do with these fish when I catch them. The browns, as a matter of fact, became my dinner later today, but just a quick show you here. Once I straightened out some of the tangles and got this fish unhooked, um, I've got a little fish bag there that I just kind of slide that brown right into, and with a little ice, keeps very nicely during these short excursions. I'm generally not out there for more than a couple of hours, but nice, beautiful day like this, you could stay forever if you wanted to. So we just fold that up back there, and away we are going. I reset and I started paddling back, figuring my day was at an end, but I saw some surface action not far from my position, so I actually paddled right over there, and within a few minutes of getting in that area, I tied into this fish. This was another large freshwater drum. I was quite surprised to find this fish hitting a surface lure. It actually hit my yellowbird as I swing over here. And you can see, off in the distance, this fish actually did take a fair amount of line. I thought it was, a substantially larger fish than what I'd been dealing with this morning. And it was to some extent, but unfortunately it wasn't one that I was willing to have for dinner. So as you can see, this fish is somewhat tired out here as I'm able to bring it closer to the boat. That's my planer board there, little yellowbirds. I just put the flag up and make it easier to see. But this actually didn't release when this fish struck, so I had to bring it in close enough to unhook it temporarily and just let it slide on down the line there. And there you can see the big drum starting to come into view here. I was doing a little reading, and apparently this early August area is just after the June-July spawn for these fish, and they move into about 30 feet of water. So these fish are probably just all spawned out and probably trying to bulk up for winter and the like. But very, very fun fish to fight, actually, and you can see there it's a very pretty fish to watch swimming around under the water. But this fish does get played out, and I bring it up to the boat. No problems. I'll get it on board here in just a sec once I handle all this equipment. It's actually quite difficult to manage some of this equipment. I've got 3 rods running. I've got my paddles. I've got my pedals. I've got rod in hand. I'm looking for all my tools half the time. I'm trying to decide if I should use the net or if I should use my grippers. I actually did settle on my grippers once I realized my net was pretty much impossible to get to where it was. The other equipment I've got floating around on that boat, I've got my fish finder. It's just off camera there. I rigged a temporary mount for that transducer. I was trying to do a through hull mount, but that really didn't pan out the first time I glued it in. So fortunately I was able to get that off with no major damage. But as you can see here, this fish is very well played out and is just rusting up. But does have a few kicks left in it once I get that gripper on it. This fish took on a hot pink J-plug there, which I've always had a secret belief that hot pink J-plug can catch just about any darn fish that's on the surface of the lake, and this pretty much proves it. But I'll just get it unhooked here. It actually did get both hooks in it, so The fish was pretty well hooked, probably wasn't going to go anywhere without that J-plug. And get that taken care of. Park my tools. It's another thing you've always got to mind when you have a boat with pedals in it. It's got a giant hole in it, so you got to be careful where you place tools. Otherwise, they wind up in the drink, and obviously you're not going to be able to recover them at that point unless they float. So I'll just hold this fish up here for the folks at home. And there we go. Another big freshwater drum, bigger than the one I caught yesterday. Another kiss for luck, and throw it over this side here. Give it, try to revive it a little bit, and actually that fish took off pretty well. I would have tried to revive it a little longer, but I was having trouble getting a hand on it. But turned around, headed off to the deep, and with a final shake of the hands, thanks for watching.